For today's lesson, we'll be continuing the discussion with reading and writing strategies for academic and professional text, or plagiarism and effective note taking. So, in our discussion previously, face to face, we already discussed that plagiarism is a serious form of academic dishonesty and that it is frowned upon the academe. That I mean, if you are copying the work of other people, we have said that plagiarism is equal to copying, stealing, and cheating all in one. So it's really an academic dishonesty, as you are just copying either the idea of other people or their verbatim or word per word statement and acting like it is your own idea, and you take credit and you did not recognize them as the real author. Also, this statement or definition from the dictionary has been already given, and this is where we get that stealing of plagiarism is also stealing, uh, lying, and copying the work of other people. Right? And again, it's like presenting the idea, presenting the world as if it is your own. Alright? And you have already mentioned why people plagiarize or why people end up copying the work of others and what will be the consequences of plagiarism. Some of you said that there would be cases or the one who plagiarized the work would have to pay a fine, not just like the song that we have played in the beginning of our discussion last time. Also, it's the greatest cost rather, I would say would be our reputation. Your reputation as a writer will pay the cost because people will think that you are a plagiarized writer. So, for example, just like what I have said, you have already published three researches, three papers, and then on your fourth paper you committed plagiarism. People will think that no matter how good your previous works are, they are plagiarized because of the fourth work that have been proven and confirmed that it is a plagiarized work. Alright? So we have also identified the two types of plagiarism. We have the plagiarism of ideas and plagiarism of language, wherein plagiarism of ideas talks about crediting a work for yourself. Okay, of course, when credit for a work is ascribed to oneself untruthfully, so you are again acting, if you are the one who plagiarized the work, as if you own the idea and as if you are really the author of that idea. So again, I would like to make it clear that plagiarism doesn't only happen kapag you are getting the ideas word per word or you're getting the verbatim of the original author. Being inspired or being uh, motivated by the ideas of other people and using it as your own is also a form of plagiarism. Okay? Now, to be able to get away from plagiarism, you have to learn citation. Citation talks about giving your ideas, giving your readers an idea rather that the work, okay, that materials in your paper, information in your paper came from another source and not originally yours. Okay? So, for us to be able to ace citation, we have to get this information or this details. Information about the author, like who the author is, the title of the work, the name and location of the company that published the copy of the source or the publishing company, the date the copy was published, and the page numbers of the material you are borrowing, specifically if it is book. Alright? And this idea or this information were not really used for in-text citation, but more on the references that you are to use, okay, or to write your references at the end of your research paper. And then there are three ways to cite, okay, cite the real author. So first is author-oriented, wherein I have already told you that it starts with the surname of the author, followed by the year of publication enclosed in the parentheses. Alright, so since the word itself suggests that it is author-oriented, begin with the surname of the original writer, and then the year, and then the statement, verb statement like believes, suggests, explains, argues, posits, emphasize, or agrees, or whatsoever other statement of verbs that we may use, or verb statement that we may use to be able to give a signal, okay, as signpost. It's also signpost to give a signal that these ideas or the following ideas were not our own, but of the authors that we have mentioned in the year when they have published their works. Alright? So could be believe, suggest, explain, argues, posits, emphasizes, agrees, or other terms like mentions, okay? Or verbs of statement that would really give your readers the idea that the ideas were not originally yours. Now, in the case that you have three or more authors, not just like what I have told you previously, you don't have to mention all the names of those authors. You just have to identify who the real, or not the real, who the main author is, no, the head writer of the paper, and then add the term et al, as it already suggests that you have other authors. Okay, et al means and others. So it will already give your readers the idea that, for example, Sabia has two or more co-author writers. That if you mention it will just make your citation long, so you just make use of et al. Okay, and then you state the ideas that you have get. Another way is that to do text-oriented citation. So from the term itself, this is the use of paragraph or sentence from a source following with the surname of the author and of the work of the year, author of the work and the year of publication. For example, we have the same source as in a while ago, but we are not going to begin with Palida 2022, but we directly start from the paragraph or sentence from the source, followed by the surname of the author and the work, author of the work and the year of publication. So language and online environment can be understood if other modes of online communication are further analyzed to prove a full account of interaction in virtual world. So it's the year and the surname is at the end of the paragraph, both enclosed in the parentheses. If two authors, same way. Just first use, or you just first write the paragraph or the sentence which you have get from your sources, and then you put the name of the authors and the year of publication in parentheses. Technology is something that may affect the social lives of children in a negative and positive way. Sabia in the 2014. If you have two or more authors, again, we just have to use et al, but again, it will be put in the parentheses, inside parentheses, both the name and the year of publication after the quoted or after your text, okay, after the sentence and paragraph form of your sources. Now, another way to do citation is using the phrase according to followed by the name of the author and the year of publication enclosed in parentheses. So example, according to Polido, okay, there's the term according to, the phrase according to, followed by who the author is, okay, and then the year of publication, okay, and the year must be inside the parentheses. Only in text-oriented citation that we include the name of the authors and the year inside the parentheses. But in the other way of citing it in author-oriented, it is just the year of publication that is put inside the parentheses. Alright, so according to the phrase, according to surname, and then the year, language in an online environment can be understood. If you have two authors, you just again add a to Subian and Tatel 2222. Then if you have three authors, you just use et al. Subia et al. 2014. Technology is something that may affect the social lives of children in a negative and positive way. So those are the ways to do citation. Author-oriented, text-oriented, and another way, or using according to. Now, how can you, how do you, I mean, how do you take note of the information that you copy or that you get from your authors, okay, from your resources? That's for plagiarism of ideas, alright? Now, plagiarism of language directly happens when an author uses the language of another writer and claims it as his or her own. Again, it's the word per word, alright? So, copied word per word. Like this one, this is our source. The two types of surrogacy currently known to date are traditional and gestational surrogacy. So, this is our uh, original source, and the writer just copied it word per word. Like this one. 2012 states that the two types of surrogacy currently known to date are traditional and gestational surrogacy. Okay, word per word. You just include, you just follow the format uh of citing, but you did not exert effort to uh paraphrase, okay, or reword the information. Okay? You just really copied word for word. Or sometimes, this is also a form of plagiarism where you just patchwork, So when we speak of patchwork, it's like you are just rearranging the words, okay, or the sentence in the paragraph, but it is still is a kind of word per word copying or plagiarism. Like from word per word, that 2012 states that the two types of surrogacy currently known to date are traditional and gestational surrogacy. And then the patchwork version is 2000 states that traditional and gestational are two methods of surrogacy. Okay, so you just uh rearranged the the sentence in the paragraph, or the words in the sentence itself. Right? So that's still plagiarism. Now, there are different note-taking techniques for you not to commit plagiarism. And those are just additionals, alright? So, we have what we call using direct quotations, summarizing the text, or paraphrasing the text. Now, direct quotation is using the exact word of the author enclosed in quotations. Okay? You have to use quotation marks to give your readers a signal that the words are not yours and you just directly quote it from other people. Okay? Globalization is just a convert term for colonization. Okay, so direct quotation, exact word from the authors. Exact word, that means word per word. Okay, so it's not bad to take word per word statements. But if you want to do that, if you want to quote the exact word of the authors, you have to use quotations. Okay, quotation marks, like this one. And then the kind of citation used in here is a text-oriented citation. Alright? So if you get it from a book, you include the page number. Alright? Another way of direct quotation is using 3 dots versus 4 dots, or what we call ellipsis. So ellipsis is like eliminating some terms in the statements. Okay, for example, we have this one, no? 2 types of surrogacy currently known to date are traditional and gestational surrogacy. So in direct quotation, we again use the direct words of our sources, but when you are using 3 dots, the 2 types of surrogacy, then dot dot dot, you remove the other not so important terms like currently known to date and go directly to our traditional and gestational surrogacy. So it's good. You go directly to the types of surrogacy, or you use the 4 dots wherein you only get the first 4 terms or the main idea that you are talking about, the 2 types of surrogacy. Okay? So when you are using 3 dots, you still have to continue the sentence, like the beginning and the end of the sentence. But if it is 4 dots, ellipsis, it's fine that you just get the beginning. Okay? But it's for direct quotation. Now we also have what we call interpolation in direct quotations, like this one. The Quiros, Sabaya, and Uy believe that the education sector should address the materials of school to improve teaching and learning. So, interpolation is correcting. Okay? It's like correcting. That means yung interpolation, well, when you enclose your word inside a parenthesis like this, no? Yung square parenthesis na yan. It gives your readers an idea that it is not the original words or names that is used in the original source. Kasi in the first source, we have here the Kira, Sabala, and Uy. Okay? So, in your quoted text, you did not include the Kira, Sabaya, and Uy, but instead you use or you reword educators believe that education. Okay, so that's interpolation. You are not using the proper names, and you just give them a common noun, like a common ground of them. Probably the Kira, Sabala, and Uri are educators. That's why in your quoted text, you rather use educators. But if you are doing that, no, if you are interpolating information, you really have to include them or to write them inside the square parenthesis that we have. So another is yung sick. Diba, since we are using direct quotation, for example, sick, she texted, call me when you get home. Yun yung original. Yung, 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 yung sick, yung interpolation na ganyan. That means, yung SIC, yung sick, kasi you might be questioned like for this one, yung call, it's, call is in correct spelling. Diba? Mali yung spelling, call me when you get home. But, since it is direct quotation, no, you just use the word sick inside two square parentheses, to give your authors the idea that it is intentionally, done by the previous author. Okay, and it is really a direct word from the author itself. Okay, so sinadya na mali yung spelling. Now, you could also use interpolation to correct the wrong spelling from your source. Like, for example, you saw in your source and you're doing direct quotation, the candidate said, I love the Philippines. But in this direct quote that you have, Philippines is misspelled. So, nakalagay dyan, Philippines. Philippines. So, you are going to use interpolation to correct the spelling. Okay? Okay? Alright. Now, another way is summarizing. When you are summarizing, of course, it refers to the short version of something, a shorter statement of the main idea of the text. So you're just restating, the the text. So, for example, you have this text: mobile and computer may also affect children's sociability. The use of technology may take away hours from children's social playing time. Yet, from another perspective, it can help cultivate their communicative and social skills through using different social media platforms and sharing apps with friends. And when you summarize, you just get the main ideas, like the ones underlined and highlighted rather. So this is your uh topic sentence: mobile and computer may also affect children's sociability, and your supporting details. Okay, so that's how your supporting details. I've identified it, and you are now to summarize it and to write it on your paper. You'll write it as this one. So B and Tatel 2014 view technology as something that may affect the social lives of children in a negative and positive way. Alright, the green ones in the original source is considered a negative effect. And then the last one is positive. Alright, so you just make use of, as long as you can make it as short as possible or to summarize it. Lastly, we have what we call paraphrasing. It's a restatement of the main idea and supporting details of the text. Restatement. So summarizing, you are just getting the main point. Okay? So on the original text, it was mentioned yung mga specific effects. And then on your summarized text, you just identified it as positive and negative. You get it? But in paraphrasing, you are getting both the main idea and the supporting details of the text. And you're just restating it. Like, you still have the same source to be in the 2014 about mobile computer that affects children's sociability. Okay, you underline your supporting details, your main idea. Okay, this one. And then you paraphrase it. So you write it. Subian Tatel points out that through technology, though technology may have a negative impact in children's ability to socialize since it minimizes the chances of real life interaction with others, they believe that through interactive features of technology such as sharing apps and varying platforms for exchange, technology can enhance social skills among its young users. So you see, we still include all the ideas in the text, but we have paraphrased it or we have restated using our own words. But still, again, we have to take note that we are not the real author of the text. Right? So that's for paraphrasing.